How's it
Hello.
going?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. Let me pull up the games. Did you happen to fill out the spreadsheet that I linked you? Did you make a copy and like start filling it out at all?
I made a copy. I'm currently on vacation, so I haven't
Ah,
had time to fiddle with stuff yet, but
okay, no worries. It's not important. It was just something I was building for
it's
students.
really cool though.
Oh, you played a Tudon.
Not really. This was a Yungusang game, and he's I think that's just his KGS rank, and it's kind of sus. You know what I mean?
Review started.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah.
All right.
So I was white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. You could probably call this early, but it's probably okay. I think open sides still first, and then to do that, you can then try to reduce. But
Okay.
it's I understand not wanting to let your opponent play the game. However, like this can still be capped, so it's not exactly safe. This is like the easiest way to play. I would go here because you want to get to your weak group, right? You just have to worry about this.
Yeah.
All right. So I'd want to get to the weak group like ASAP. So if you go here, this kind of encourages you to play. Actually, this encourages black to use some Aji. Potentially, right? So it's like I'm going to keep playing in this area, probably, is kind of the idea. But here, it fixes
it's
it,
just
and
yeah,
you can move on.
incentive. Yeah.
I don't know if it's Sente. Like they might go here, but like if they do something else, well, now you're able to get it first. Basically, you're saying I'm done with this area. You don't want them to have any more forcing moves. Like that's fine, but you're like I'm done. You're not going to get anything else out of me.
Yeah.
Black's opening is odd.
Yeah, he plays. I've played this guy before. And anyway, he always plays kind of weird. So yeah.
Okay, what would I do here? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out which Joseki direction I like better. Let's see what you did. Let's just see what you did. No. I would jump. This one is classic for taking Sente.
Okay.
So at double digit Q, I tell my students to connect, but at single digit Q, you have to learn that you can ignore that.
Okay. Technically, I'm still double digit Q, but
oh, sorry. Well,
yeah.
I see a number 9. I'm going to treat you like a 9.
On OGS, I'm 12, 13 still, but OGS is pretty hard.
Yeah, OGS is pretty hard. Freaking 2 Qs and 1 Qs are strong.
Yeah.
Connect or Tanuki. That's kind of your ideas. This is almost never the move. Like, I don't think I would ever play this. I would always go here, and then either here or something like that, which are complicated. Like, they're not easy Josekis, but you almost never do that, because then it's just an open skirt on the left, and then they can come attack you, and then they just have to reduce later. So it's not bad. It's like minus maybe 1 or 2 points at best, but it's bad habit to extend from a Hane, in my opinion. I think it's better to just learn the better moves. And if you default to this one every single time, you're never going to learn the better ones.
Okay, yeah.
So either connect, which is a very solid wall, or ignore and go somewhere else. Locally, the follow-up is here, right? And then you have to learn the rest from there. But locally, if you want to follow it up, it's supposed to be here. Actually, you're on some Mega Dragon, yeah?
Is it a Joseki that has a specific objective when you do that follow up you're talking about? Are you trying to make them like live small or something, or what's the point of it?
You're either going to surround both sides,
okay,
like that, or you're going to get to change directions and go on the left.
Okay,
like that.
Interesting. Okay.
So you can see how you built the left side.
Yeah.
So it's nice to block it this way when you either... So it's nice to block down when you're like, I'm going to either get both sides or I'm going to get a very strong left side. Another option, which is almost always acceptable according to AI, is the double Hane. When in doubt, you can just double Hane and it's almost always good. Or an acceptable result.
I haven't really been using that one yet, so I'll need to
get comfortable. This one's quite easy, I think. What are you scared of exactly?
I think scared's the wrong word. Double Hanes in general scare me, but this one, I'm just...
Yeah,
never crosses my mind.
Double Hane in the middle game can be tricky, I agree. But double Hane in the corner right here is actually quite simple. You just sacrifice the outside for the inside.
Okay, and then those...
And if they take the inside, then their corner is inefficient, and they have potentially a weak group.
Okay.
Even worse if you have a ladder, because they still have to live, and then you can just take it.
Okay. I will experiment with that.
Yeah. This is a very simple, if I don't know what to do, default to this, because it's almost always acceptable. But if you want to play these, it's fine. Just you need to know this move if you're going to play it. What other options? You have the Nobi and then Nobi.
Because what I was really after was Sente, and I was like, I think that Knight's move version I played was...
Yeah, but then you didn't take Sente.
But then I didn't know what to do after that. I'm not really familiar with it, so... Yeah.
The Sente timing is now. So this is why we don't half know things.
Right.
Josekis are very, very bad to only know kind of, or only kind of know, because then you're playing out a variation without fully understanding it, and it's almost better to know nothing and read and come up with a plan and check your cutting points than it is to play out a Joseki you don't fully understand, because you're trying to remember the order of moves instead of trying to check your cutting points.
Yeah.
So Josekis are very dangerous to memorize. You don't want to misremember a Joseki, because otherwise you might just end up dead sometimes.
Good point. Yeah.
This one is not that bad. I just think it's a bad habit for my students to have. I am a big fan of not extending from the Hane. But it's not a huge deal, right? Obviously. It's not that big of a deal. I just don't like it.
In the like old school corner Joseki, everybody learns where you Hane at the head of the two.
Mm-hmm.
You extend there, but you just have to, I guess. But
no, actually, this one. So it used to be that, right? And this is really good. Mm-hmm. But the reason it's good is because of this Tiger's Mouth, not because of your extend. And you were forcing the Tiger's Mouth exchange, which is why everyone played the extension, because it's just really good for white. However, the AI said just don't exchange this. You could actually exchange this peep, or even extend once and then peep later. And because of that, we realized
Better to just double Hane.
well, we realized we would want the peep to be a line higher. So we want that peep to be higher, so it's easier to deal with. Okay. That's kind of the idea there. But even this one, I think, is arguably suboptimal, because I've been studying this shape with AI, and in the middle game, this shape is almost always not the best move. Now, it's not a bad move. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a mistake or anything. I think there's just always going to be a better option 99% of the time. And according to AI, there almost always is. Because locally, you can see it's minus 0.2 versus it's 0.
Yeah.
Here, Tanuki 0.5 to 0.2. Like, it's almost always something better by a fraction of a point. If you don't know what to do, you can Nobi. I just am not a fan of this habit of Nobiing from Hanes, because in the middle game, you either double Hane or you connect. You don't really Nobi. This gets you into a lot of trouble potentially, and I see this all the time. That's why I try to tell my students, when you Hane, either connect or double. Connect or double. Those are the two moves to consider. Nobi is a very, very awkward, unique shape. Most of the time, it's gonna not be good, and that's why I don't like these Josekis, because they're like, it's okay, but it teaches you a bad habit, which is why I'd rather you learn the better Josekis anyway, so you don't reinforce a bad habit. Because in the middle game, it is a bad habit. It is a bad shape. I'm actually curious what the AI says about here. Do you connect? Double Hane. See, 0.6. Okay. It's almost never the best move. It's almost never the best move.
Okay.
But again, this is one of my strong opinions, but it's only it's a less than a point mistake. I just think it's a habit thing. Think about this for a second. What do you want right now?
Strong groups.
Okay, so you want to help this one?
Yeah, I figured they were kind of already out, so, but...
Well, not quite, because the line of influence is right here.
Yeah.
So not quite out yet. You could ignore an approach to a star point, and then when they do that, just attach. You can learn these if you want the freedom to ignore an approach. But
okay.
I think the bigger issue is you played on the left. The left is an open skirt. You don't build open skirts, or don't develop open skirts. So I would expect the top side or a center move, or maybe an attachment on it.
Open skirts. Okay, I've never heard that one.
Yeah, do you know what an open skirt is?
I do. Yes.
Okay, yeah. When the second line is peeping under it, it's an open skirt. You don't want to build that area until you can get this move and make it very large value. Almost always, it's very invadable for black. Very easy to take away. So that's why you don't want to build it. And then you play third line, which is not developing anything. It's very flat. It's a flat and it's open skirt. So it's very inefficient. So I would have expected a pincer here or something. And then if you don't like it because the weak group gets dangerous, then just play on the weak group and then just attach whenever they do whatever. That is some options.
Is that the one? Is that attach out the one where they Hane and then you like Nobi and then you like go into the corner or something like that? They Hane and you extend out. Yeah, I've seen that before. Okay. Yeah.
And then this is the common one nowadays. I was looking with AI and the AI said to do this first or something like that. And I was like, why would you not?
The idea is to like get strong and then attack the single stone on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay.
The order of placement of 10, I'm unsure about because like I'm trying to figure it out, like which order is the best. But the idea is black fixes their cutting points, and you can get the corner. And if they try to cut you right here, you just kill them. And so they'll peep and then make a base.
Okay.
But there's not just one variation here. This is like saying there's only one variation to the approach. Like, that's not the case. There's this move, there's this move, there's this move, there's this move. There's this move. There's a lot of moves here. But the idea is, if you want to learn it, then play it and review. And just learn one at a time. Just know that the star point can be, you can ignore an approach for something urgent. Because there are Josekis for that.
That's an idea I hadn't really considered, that I could just ignore it. Okay.
I wouldn't recommend it unless there's something urgent. Like, technically you can ignore it for a big move, but that's not Classy Approach. Classy Approach says to respond. But if there's something urgent on the board, urgent before big, because it is a big move. So that is within our possible moves. I really want to see this section develop. And then I want to see this group get strong. So what I want to see is a move that supports those two ideas. That's what I would like to see. Cap. Cap. Cap or shoulder hit.
Okay. My idea was kind of like threaten to surround him and then like support my weak group on the side. Kind of, that was, I probably should have just capped him. Yeah, you're right.
Don't play prep moves and don't threaten to do something. Just do it. This is a common thing that other students have done as well. Is they'll play preparatory moves, and those can be ignored half the time. Whatever you're trying to do, they're just going to go deal with it, because whatever you want to do, they're going to take away, because that's how this works. So don't play prep moves. Just do whatever you want to do and do it well. So if you want to defend your group, defend your group. If you want to attack black with whatever. Which maybe is cool. Like this. Yeah, but don't play prep moves or threat moves. It needs to be Sente. They have to respond to your move, which that is convenient. That is very convenient. That is such a slow move. Oh my gosh. Oh no, this is so we need this capping move. Because you want to push them to the wall. And then you could do this. Okay. I think you thought this was an efficient base. That's what it is.
Kind of like, oh no, if I cap him, he'll just make a base. So
yeah. There's a weak point at this base right here. Also, you can do this to the corner. And
Sente probably. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of, pretty much, because they can't Tatari, right? Because you just connect. So they have to block or something. But then you get this to the corner. I forget what the best one is. And then you can still go cap. Right, so this is a very common way to bully the corner while also bullying the eyes. You'll probably see this a lot if you review like AI games ever. You'll see this kind of idea a lot. So yeah, it's not a perfect base, but I understand how you arrived at this answer. And I don't think your logic was bad. I think it's just you overestimated how strong black was. But okay, not a huge deal. Not a huge deal. This is a huge deal. This really sucks. You're in trouble now. Yeah. I might just sacrifice the corner.
That's what I did. I was like, oh, okay. I at least read that out. So
that is a large corner, though. So this isn't just paying tax on an earlier mistake. That's the problem. This is very painful, though. Okay, good. Yeah, I like this. This is fine. This is a very large corner, though, so you can see why I recommended just fix, because you're paying tax now on an earlier shape. Typically, you do it on the less liberty side, but okay. I wonder about ignoring, because you've already ignored it, right? So now you treat it as a Sabaki group instead of a group, since you ignored it once. It's an idea. It's an idea, but it's probably not Colossi approach. This is not one of our basic shapes. This is what do you call that move? I forget. But anyway, it's bad eye shape. That's the point. So jump, Knight's move here, which leads to the elephant, which leads to the Knight's move. So that is an idea. Knight's move here, which leads to another Knight's move. I want to go here because I think it's the simplest basic move. Yeah, but this one is not 100% connected and not 100% alive. So it's usually not the move. Okay. It is a shape that comes up a lot, but I usually try to find a better one if I see it in my games. I'll try to find a better shape than that one if I can. Very good. You go for the influence on this board. Perfect. Okay, and you're just winning.
Yep.
I can see why you thought they were sussed. Don't know how you're beating a Teuton, but you're beating a Teuton right now. Yeah, and you see this shape right here?
Oh yeah, same shape.
And then poke it. They can't connect now. Because it's not a connected shape. It's not a perfect shape.
I'll remember that. Weakness of that shape is right there. Okay.
This is a little soft. Yeah, this is a little bit of a soft move. Because now they can make a tiger's mouth and take your liberties. And I don't think you were a weak group, right? I don't know. This is a very confident move. You're like, you're going to die. I'm just going to fix my weakness. I'm just going to trust that you're dead. So it's a very confident move. We'll see how it goes. Really? Whatever. Jump usually.
So we're coming up to the end of the game where I rage quit and resigned because I made a huge mistake. I read incorrectly. So anyway, and then later in the AI, it was like I wasn't even losing when I rage quit. So
oh no. Yeah. Always count before you resign or rage quit. Yeah. I have lost a lot of games from that, and I have learned always count before you hit the resign button. Just double check.
Yeah.
Yeah, you jump to get ahead. Is keep them on the second line. The longer they're on the second line, the better it is for you. This is like almost never the move. This is kind of a like 20Q stuff. Where they have you seen like when you're teaching beginners or something, they'll Atari and then they'll try to capture the stone that's capturing them.
Yeah, it was dumb. I don't know what was going on in my head there.
Yeah, it looks like you just hallucinated something as well. But yeah, it's definitely bad shape.
Yeah.
And then you resigned.
Yeah, I resigned because it was just a rage quit, honestly. So, but I've been getting better, and I have not had very many of those in the last week. So
that's good.
just this one and one other one, but I've played like 7 or 8 games. So
I'm not going to waste their lesson time counting this. Probably you're winning. If the AI said you are. Oh, it's an even game. In theory, he should have better in game than you, and you're losing. But they haven't. They didn't really have a strong middle game.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
probably could have pulled it out if I had just kept going,
You
but
definitely had a shot. It was definitely an even
yeah.
game. Definitely a mistake though. But otherwise, I think honestly, sacrificing the corner for this large area is a pretty high level move or a high level plan. I'm surprised. Did you read that they were going to die?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. This is a pretty good reading if you read that.
I'm usually I like to think that I'm pretty good at like high level strategy. It's just a lot of times my the little details get messed up and then it doesn't work how I wanted it to, but
That's just doing more Go problems then.
yeah.
They're kind of like you're collecting puzzle pieces and you haven't quite made them all fit together. And then once they all click together, then you will just be able to do everything. Because right now you're collecting puzzle pieces and you're playing games, which is practicing putting the puzzle pieces together. Eventually you'll just get good at those puzzle pieces clicking, if that makes sense. Like you learn new tactics, you get lessons, you do learn new Go problem shapes by doing like the campaign and stuff, and you get all these puzzle pieces, and then you play the game, which is putting the puzzle pieces together. But unlike in real life, it doesn't always work out the first time you do it. So you're trying to learn how to put the puzzle pieces together with practice, and then you review and refine and sharpen, and then eventually you get to a point where they slowly start clicking, and that's when when they start clicking, you'll start just winning rapidly and rank up rapidly, at least till like 5Q. I think right now your game is probably, this one looks single digit Q. Except for that one mistake on the left. Everything else looks single digit Q. So I think your game is pretty solid in this one. But this is also an NAOL match, right? So you had a lot of time.
Youngusang, yeah.
Youngusang, yeah. Curious, what does Ensong say about your game?
What's that?
What does Ensong say about your game?
This particular one, I actually haven't had time to listen to his review yet, but I wasn't able to attend it in person.
I got you. Well, I mean, like, what does he say your weaknesses usually are? Do you have like a theme, or does he just review the games one at a time?
So far, I just started like a month or two ago. Like this is my first season, and he hasn't like given me my like whatever.
Yeah, the performance chart. Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't given me that yet, so I don't know what he thinks.
Gotcha.
But the last game, he said, "Oh, your game is looking more stable now ever since I started studying with you." So that's nice.
Awesome. Totally.
So obviously, he doesn't
think all me, right? Yeah. All me. Not that you're putting in a ton of effort or doing Go problems or taking watching lectures or none of that. It's just totally me, right? No, it's definitely you. You got to give yourself credit.
Well, it's me struggling to apply the Klossy approach as hard as I can, because that's really what you got to take credit for. Because I
have had the Klossy approach complimented multiple times this week, and I'm like, I love that series. I love hearing the positive feedback, because I get a lot of negative feedback a lot more often than I get positive feedback. So it's nice. Really? Yeah. Well, that's because a lot of the people that enjoy it don't say anything about it, right? So usually quietness means it's good, because people are very likely to tell you when something's wrong, but less likely to tell you when something's good. Because people love to complain, hate, or whatever it is. So
I really like it. I still don't feel like I'm perfect at it yet, and I'm struggling to kind of internalize it so it becomes second nature, and I know it'll happen over time. So
yeah. Just don't forget, the Klossy approach is the strategy, the reading and Go problems are the tactics to accomplish the strategy. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the Klossy approach just tells you where to look and what you should be thinking about. Your instincts. Was it you that I linked the video with the 4 keys to good play?
No.
Let me go through my Discord messages real quick so I can send you that. I sent it to one of my students in the last week or two. Here it is. Copy text. This is 4 key ideas to perfect play. What it is, it's basically if you look at the thumbnail, if it loads, the 4 key ideas is goal, instincts, read, and judgment. And it talks about like what you should do for each one. The Klossy approach is only 1/4 of it. That's why it's like it helps you, but it's also just 1/4 of what you need. Klossy approach tells you the goal of the turn, which is the strategy. Instincts tell you where to look first, like it tells your shape recognition, stuff like that. Like it tells you what to look at. Then you read it, and you don't just read one branch, but you read multiple branches, usually 3 to 5 moves deep. And then you do judgment, where you compare the branches. You don't just read the first branch you see and then play it out if it looks good. You have to make the discipline to read multiple branches, like 2 or 3 different branches, 3 to 5 moves deep, and then just say which one is going to be the best one. And a lot of the times your first instinct might be good, but it's always good to double check, because there are many times where there's a better move than the normal move if you just read it. And I think the Klossy approach is only 1/4 of it. So I love people using the Klossy approach, but I don't want you to think it's the end all be all solution. I want you to still do all the other parts of your reading and your Go problems and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm.
Well, I've been grinding Go problems. I would say Go problems are, well, in this game you're about to watch, actually, I end up losing by 1/2 point at the end because I misread something at the very end.
Oh, so no.
It seems like that's kind of becoming a theme where I keep misreading stuff and losing.
Is it a goose to Suji?
No, it's that situation in the lower left there.
This looks like a goose to Suji. Almost, anyway. Basically an in-game tactic.
I thought I had read it out like, oh, I can just like extend out and he won't be able to kill me, and then I just didn't do the last part correctly. Yeah.
Yeah, the key here is to notice it's 3 to 3, so take a liberty.
Yeah, I should have done that. The AI pointed that out to me. I was like, oh man, that was so simple. But anyway.
I wouldn't say it's simple, but yeah, I would do give yourself like capture Go problem or capture race Go problem homework from it, because this is the key, and if you didn't recognize it, then that just means you need to drill it some more. Are you working your way through the campaign?
I have. I haven't been lately.
Hey, what have you been working on?
Lately I've just been I've been noticing that making eyes and like that's like the majority of my mistakes, and my mistake list is making eyes, so I've been working on those.
So life and death you should always do. It's very, very important. But life and death is only 50% of your Go problems. So if you have 100 Go problems to do, 50 of them will be life and death, 50 of them will be something else. And it might be something else might be capture race this week, right? But no matter what you work on, you'll always have life and death in the corner as well. So life and death is very, very important, but you can't exclusively do that. It's only half of the problems. So yeah, keep doing life and death. Obviously, it's always going to be beneficial to you. But I would like you to work your way through the level 3 and level 4 campaign as well. Because I did hand pick these to help you guys improve. And the life and death, there is life and death in here. You can see in the level 3, you have corner life and death 2. Then the introduction to corner patterns, which you should know these already, I think.
Oh, is that new? I don't recognize this screen you're on. Is this a new screen?
No, I just took the graphics out.
Okay.
I just took all the cartoon graphics out to make it easier and more targeted to adults instead of kids. Because all the subscribers are adults, not kids. So I'm like, well, I feel like I'm wasting my time with these graphics. I did have a few complaints from adults, though. So I'm not sure if I made the 100% best decision. Some of them really liked the graphics, I guess. But I was trying to make it more professional looking. But yeah, basically the same thing.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah, in the single digit queue, there's the capture race. J group is going to be very difficult, but very important. I want you to do the J group multiple times. This is 3-3 life and death problems. The life and death problems that come from the 3-3.
That's actually where I'm stuck right now. Is I haven't got past the J group in this part of the campaign yet. So
yeah,
okay.
Well, go through the study button and then use hints or whatever, and then you can test yourself after. This was feedback from another student where they wanted to like be able to navigate and study through it instead of just hitting test over and over. So I added this study button for you guys to drill it. So this loads it as a regular Smeagolist where you have all the hints and you can explore it and restart it and learn the ins and outs. And then you can test yourself. So hopefully this will make it a little bit easier for you to learn. And then of course you have the 6-point eyes next, and then mutual life, and then taking eyes. So yeah, lots of life and death in these two. I want to say the level 3 should be easy for you, so I would like to see you 3-star it. And then I would like to see you just 1 or 2-star single digit Q. If you can 3-star all of them, then your reading should definitely be single digit Q, maybe even 5Q plus.
So maybe just keep studying it till that's the point, right? Keep studying it till you can eventually 3-star it.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How do those stars work, by the way? Like
1 star is if you get 1 star if you complete the set, and so I think if you solve even 1 problem, as long as you complete the set, you get 1 star. 2 stars means you solved half of them. 3-star means you solved all of them without a mistake. And this is in test mode, and this is in the test mode, not in the study mode.
Yeah. Okay.
And then this just tells you how if you got 1 star in the whole category, it means you 1-starred everything. If you get 2 stars in the whole category, it means you 2-starred everything. 3 stars means you 3-starred everything. That's the category stars.
Okay, cool. Yep. That's a great idea. I will work through that.
All right. But yeah, also keep doing your life and death, because if that's what the thing says you need to work on the most, then still do that as your homework as well. Just know that life and death isn't everything. Are you white or black?
I am white in this game.
Okay. You could double Hane again, but wait, you were 13Q. How are your ranks all over the place?
This is that account that it's the only account I can use for NAOL games, and I never play on it except for NAOL games.
Yeah. So, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
You letting them think that you're weaker than you are. It's a psychological tactic. If you're not going to double Hane, then it's almost always extend. Extender here. We don't really do this one if we're not going to double Hane anymore. This is an old-fashioned move.
Okay.
So extend and then do it is fine, or just go here directly, which is complicated, but that's an understatement. It's really complicated, but you can do it. But if you want to double Hane, then you can do it. Otherwise, just go once and then Hane. It just makes the cutting point higher up, which is easier to handle.
Okay.
Nope, 4 in a row. Then you can ignore. Because when they play the Hane, you want to be able to net the cutting stone. And you need 4 liberties to do that.
Ah, okay.
So that way you can double Hane. So you want at least 4. If it's 3, and you do that, you can't double Hane because of this. And there's not a net.
Okay. Gotcha. Just subscribed for 2 months.
4 in a row before you ignore.
I want to share I got Twitch affiliate today. That was a surprise to me.
Oh, Soma mentioned that they got Twitch affiliate today, so congrats on that.
I remember not being sure what to do at this point. I was like,
I don't want to attack, but it's acceptable. It's fine. I would probably go here though. I wouldn't 3-3 the Sanrense, especially when you're developing right here, because it kind of wastes this one being on the 4th line. Because what they're going to do is they're just going to build their influence with whatever, right? And then your 4th line move is not working with the 2nd line move very well. So you would want your 4th line move to help with the reduction, but then the relationship between these two aren't very good. So it's not a perfect relationship. That's why if you have fourth line versus fourth line, whoever gets the third line first should have a little bit of an advantage on this side of the board. But of course, black can still build their Sanrense, so it's not like it's your advantage completely. But that's why I would think about this move. I'm really curious about this move too, though. They're both really big. A is going to say 3-3, isn't it? Nope. This one's like that big. Okay. Bigger than the 3-3. You know it's big when the AI says it's bigger than the 3-3. Okay. Black should have totally done that. That would have been perfect. Still would do it because it opens up this this invasion point right there and right there. But okay. I think you got outplayed a little bit in the opening, but not the end of the world. Ooh, no. That is very lucky for you. I should absolutely be doing this. This is like handicap 101, Sanrense 101. So you got quite lucky here, I think. No, you have to extend. You have a cutting point.
Have to extend?
You have a cutting point. What's worse, it's a Sente cutting point because you're going to die if you ignore. So black cuts you on Sente. So yeah, very important. Very, very important. You have the second line cut. Did you read the second line cut? Did you check it?
No.
That is a bad habit because you lost the liberty. Okay, actually, let's think about this for a second. This is a bad shape normally, right? From our basics, it's pre-peeped 1 point jump.
Right.
So typically we would go here, right?
Yeah.
So because of our A, B, C, D exchange, we can go third line instead of second line. Because we can capture these stones now. So that is the entire purpose of ABCD, is so that way you can go to the third line instead of the second line. Because without it, you could just go to the second line and be fine. But you can't do the third line because of the cutting point.
Oh, I never knew that. Okay.
Right, so that's why we played in the first place, because this is a bad move by itself, right? There has to be a reason for it. It's second line, giving your opponent more stones to attack you and everything. So there has to be a reason for it. Otherwise, it's just a bad move. You should play the slide. This is our basic shape. And this is why we don't memorize Josekis. We try to study them. Because this is our basics. If we don't know Joseki, this is what we would do. So that is why we play that and can play third line. But because we know this exists, this should be a red flag. We've lost a liberty on a cutting point. So you double check it again, and you should notice the second line cut works now. And that is because you need to know that there's a cutting point, and whenever you lose a liberty on a cutting point, you double check it again, because that's how things go wrong. So this is a bad habit.
Okay. I figured that was the biggest Moyo.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize that I was weak anywhere. But
I'm wondering how big this is. But I think you're right. I think it is too big. But I was looking at this and then judging the difference. Also this this into something up here. But I think it's okay. I don't think it's a huge deal. Remember, they can cap this, though. Like, it's not always Sente. When they're really strong, they can cap this. I don't think players will do it until probably like 5Q plus. But I want you to know that the shoulder hit can be capped in some situations. And the situations are when they're really, really strong on both sides. They can cap you. When they can cap, you might just back off once. Maybe here or here.
Okay.
But most of the time, shoulder hit's fine. Like, I'm just thinking about it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just thinking about what's going to happen. The big issue on this board is you owe 2 moves. So you're 2 moves behind right now.
Yeah, I didn't recognize that.
One space jump to one space jump. Whoever wedges first has better shape. That is why they are supposed to go here. Whoever wedges the one space jump first gets better shape. Okay, I have 2 cutting points.
Okay.
Is that shape again? Which means later black can clamp you and you lose the eye. Because it's the Vita point, a weakness of that shape, if you recall. So if black wants to steal your eye, this is the move. But obviously they should cap you or something more powerful right now. Ew. Empty triangles. That's a lot of Knights moves. That is a lot of Knights moves.
Yeah.
I think you're okay. I feel like there's supposed to be a Tsuji here. There's so many Knights moves, there should be a Tsuji. Oh yeah, what? I can't use the AI. Hold on. Let me fix this. Okay. Aha! There is a Tsuji. Now what is it? That's Nobi. Better.
See, that's cuttable.
That would be hard to pull off, I think. This is beyond this level. Like, I don't even think I could pull this off. I might come up with it, but I don't think I would pull it off. But okay, I knew my Aji senses were tingling though. My Aji senses were tingling.
Aji sense.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't end up he didn't end up trying anything on it, so I guess I got lucky. But
I doubt he has the Aji sense that I do though. So yeah. Just this sort of night when there's a stone right here, sometimes will lead to a clamp Tsuji. This is more common on the when it's a third line. It's more common as an endgame Tsuji or a cut Tsuji, but that comes from the knight where they have a black stone right here, the knight with the black stone. And then if you combine that with the corner and the corner Josekis, we know that this move is possible. So if you combine the two, then you might find it.
Yeah.
So it's 2 shapes that you need to know. This feels soft, but it actually works quite well. Okay.
Trying to take his base and push him against my weak wall.
Yeah, here you're doing a double attack as well, so I think it's okay. Yeah. Usually it's not good, but I think it's okay on this one. As long as you are confident. As long as you're confident, you can do it. This one. For sure, this one. You don't need liberties on those 2. This one is too ignorable. Make something more Sentai. Maybe unsettle first.
Okay.
And then cap. Do you know the Vita point here?
Vita point of what?
Black shape.
His? Yeah. Black shape? Would it be B10?
Yeah, so if white has black surrounded, this peep into this tiger's mouth.
Oh yeah. I didn't see that, but I should know that, yeah.
You have to recognize that this is a bad shape. We learned this, I think, at 12Q usually, that the descend down is bad endgame shape, and also that there's a peep. So when your opponent plays something that you know is bad, if you can recall that it's because of the peep, then you'll find this sequence or that one. So as long as you know that there's a bad shape there, then you can come up with this move. But you have to recognize that descend down is almost never good. This is touching a weak group. Doesn't feel good. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like it. I want to unsettle before I attack this.
Okay.
Because what if they just go like this and then reduce you?
Okay. Yeah.
They might go here. Yeah, and then they may be reduced. Thanks with the support of this stone, they might find a reduction in there. So it doesn't feel good. At least go here. A little bit better. Yeah, I don't think you read this move thoroughly. Go back. A little bit safer. Yeah, the problem is this move is nice. For a base. Yeah. Are you cuttable? Hold on. Let me check. No, I think you're alive on both sides. I don't think it's a cutting point. It's not a real cut. If you're alive on both sides, it's not a cut.
Okay. I was worried about forcing moves that would allow him to push through at F7. I think I don't remember what they were at the moment, but I remember kind of like reading out a little bit, and I'm like, oh, he could just push out there. So
I can imagine that you read this, but you didn't read one move further. But I understand how you came to that conclusion, yeah. So you got to this and thought black got out.
Yeah.
Okay. That's reasonable. Like, it's pretty deep reading.
But at the same time, like, even if he gets out, like, he was probably alive anyway, so maybe it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, but surrounding things is very important. Keeping things surrounded is very important. So we'll call this we just didn't read deep enough. But you read it pretty deep, so I can't call this a mistake. That's a mistake. Do you know why?
Because of the cutting points?
Yeah, the cut's still there.
Yeah.
Now your corner's dead. So you have to save the corner, but then you just waste the move.
Okay.
I really want you seeing this. This is one of our basic shapes. One space jump and one space jump. Whoever wedges first gets the better shape. In this case, you have to actually connect because of the cutting point. But I want you recognizing one space jump to one space jump. This wedge should be semi-urgent.
Whoever gets it first.
Yeah, whoever gives it first gives the cutting points to the other side. You have no cutting points, they have 2 cutting points. So it makes the outside easier to play. Versus if they get it first, you see all the cutting points. But I want you thinking about that. If there's some situations where it's just not worth the whole move, but I want you constantly thinking about that wedge locally. Oh, this hurts my soul. This move hurts my soul.
I guess he needs to work on that too.
Yeah.
I was kind of trying to reduce him and build my own at the same time.
Yeah, this is Sente, Super Sente. Like, they're going to die if they don't do it, if they don't block. So do this first.
Okay.
Super Sente. This is
like
getting...
Super Saiyan?
Yeah, Super Saiyan. This is your Super Saiyan move. This is also Super Duper Sente, and it gives you like 5 points. Because that Atari. Actually, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh my gosh, Tesujis are crazy. Tesujis, man. They'd be crazy. But locally, it should be a nice exchange. Both of these should be pretty big. Maybe here is bigger than that one, though. But that one gives a peep to a cut. I don't know. This is Gote. This cannot be the move. So yeah, second line, first line. Like all of these are bigger. Imagine like you go here and they go here and you just jump in.
Okay, yeah.
They're losing. You hadn't gotten anything. They're just preventing, but you're taking. They're preventing. Much bigger difference. What on earth? Oh, they need to get lessons from me so bad. This is optimistic. It's cute, but I think it's very optimistic.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out some way.
Okay, here's the thing that I don't like about this. Can you solve this entire life and death problem from this move?
No.
Then don't lose points while checking. If they live, you've lost points. Every single move of yours needs to be positive value if you want to be like Dawn player. Every single move needs to be positive value. Don't lose points with a move. So this one, if they live, is bad. So we can't do this one unless we're 100% that they're dead.
All right, good point.
So if you want to attack and you can't solve it, attack it from the outside, not the inside. Unless you're unsettling and they're about to run away and you're going to get a ton of forcing moves. That's different. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you get a bunch of forcing moves, then it's not negative value. This Sente? Oh my gosh, it's Sente.
Couldn't they just yeah, block? Oh, I guess that's 4 on the edge though. That's not. You get to play first. Okay.
Oh my gosh, K2 is Sente. That is so big. That is so big. You need to do that. That is so much better. Or here, actually. That one too. Oh, that is a huge. No, Nobi is Sente. Hane is Gote. Okay. No, it's here. There's no cut. There's nowhere to go.
Oh, because I'm so strong everywhere. Yeah. Okay.
This one there is a cut. Oh, you lost the stun. Okay, that actually happened. Okay, this one's good. Yep. We'll accept it. Yep. This is the wrong move by black. Is there a kill here? I think there's a kill here.
A co?
Yeah.
Go for life kind of a thing?
No, to kill.
Interesting. I think he has more co-threats on me, though.
It doesn't matter. You can get 2 moves in a row. What do you need? So let's say you do this. You've lost... If I go here, and they go here. They have 4, and you have 1. Okay, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's say the Sente follow-up is 8, 9. So you need a 9-point co-threat, or 2 moves in a row for 9 points. Dang. I think you're right.
I don't know. I didn't even recognize that there was a co there, to be honest, but I just feel like I've got all those cutting points and stuff that you were telling me about. So, like in the upper right. So,
dang,
now
that's such a pretty co, though. You don't have the co threats for it. That's so unfortunate. Here. This one pushes a point.
So it's Sente, okay.
Well, it's not 100% Sente, but it's 1 point better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to sneakily surround his left side group because
that's optimistic. It's alive.
Yeah.
You're trying to double Atari something later, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
This is Dame. This is tunnel visioning on an illusion.
It was a beautiful illusion, though.
That one's okay. This is maybe at best 1 point. So looks like you're losing several points in game. This is a co-threat. Save that for a co-threat.
Okay.
It might be a double. No, it's not a double co-threat. Because if they go, you don't die. So it's not a co-threat for them, and it is a co-threat for you. So definitely leave it on the board. Oh, this must have made you so happy. And then they fixed it and you got sad.
Yeah.
You were so ready for the Goose to Suji.
Yeah. Didn't work, though.
This one's better. Problem is, when you go there, yeah, you have to respond. So you actually forced your opponent to play better in game. You're losing quite a bit in end game. So that's not good. Okay. What? Why not here? Oh, you're worried about that. That's what you're worried about.
No, that's not what I was worried about. I just thought. I remember you telling me that descending is Sente, and
on the
so I was trying
second line, it's Sente. Descending on the first line is not, because if you play here, I block and you connect, I lost 1 point. If you go here and I ignore, and then you push and I block, I've still only lost 1 point. This is the exact same value as this. Does that make sense? Okay. The second line threatens a monkey jump.
But one way I get Sente and the other way I get Gote, right?
No, because I'm going to ignore it. It's a 1 point follow-up. It's a 1 point move follow-up.
Oh,
it's no different than this. So therefore, it's only worth 1 point. Therefore, I'm going to ignore it. Ironically, yeah. Ironically, this is actually better because of all these cutting points. The irony is funny. Nope, that is a 1 point move. This is one shape that you'll want to remember because it comes up every so often. If they take 2, you take 1, it's 1 point.
Okay.
So it's a 1 point reverse Sente. But
I've seen that shape
for it.
Life and Death Problems, but I didn't recognize it. Yeah.
And here's the capture race, yeah. This should be Iver's no eye, though.
That's why I played that way, but then he started to get an eye too.
Yeah, that is a not small amount of liberties. Do you know about the liberties of the eye shapes? Like how bigger the eyes have more liberties?
Yeah, it's like there's some kind of formula for it. Like 4 has 6 or 5 has 12
I think it's
or something.
like n plus 1 times 2. I don't remember. I'm throwing numbers off the top of my head. Either way, 1 liberty, 2 liberties, 3 liberties, and then 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 is 5, and then 5 is 8.
5 is 8. Okay.
Because it takes 8 moves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take, because you're an Atari at that point.
Right.
4, 5, 6, and then 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, and then I think it's 7 moves to capture or 8 moves to capture. I think it's like 8 moves to capture, but I remember 5 is 8 is what I learned at one point. But yeah, I did that right. And then the 8th move captures. Yeah, so 5 is 8. But it's 8 right here, and that counts as 1. So now it's at 7. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So knowing that is important whenever you have a capture race in an eye versus no eye. You need to make sure that they don't have a ton of liberties, because if they do, they might just kill you anyway, even if they don't have an eye. No, that gives them the eye. Here.
I only have a 2 liberty eye, so.
Yeah, that's the... Well, actually, this is still eye versus no eye.
Okay.
If you go here, it's a false eye. And then you start taking liberties. And it's eye versus no eye. You actually gave them an eye by going here. Now it's an eye. Yeah, mutual eye, 5 versus eye. Unfortunate. Yeah, it's a pretty big endgame mistake, but I think that's a capture race and eye versus no eye, which is also capture race, so we just learned from it. What is this move? It's chicken move. You can't be put into Atari, so how could there be a Tsuji? There's no Atari.
Oh, I didn't recognize that I could connect there.
Yeah, I think you read this, and then snapback somehow, or something. I don't know. Or like, hey, that's a self Atari. I don't know. But there's no Atari, so you just connect if there's no Atari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was up by 20 points, but because of that bottom corner, he won by half a point.
Yeah, I've done that before as well. I've lost a 3-hour game that I was up by 5 points because of a corner thing, and it was a Go Congress game. 3 hours of effort lost to a corner Tsuji at the very end of the game. Oh, I was so mad that day. But yeah, pain is a good teacher. Pain is a good teacher. And now you'll always be checking these third line cutting points. I want to say your end game can be improved probably another 10 to 15 points. Last time I recommended 6 space I. That is also in the campaign. So we're going to say life and death plus campaign. And then focus more on profit. I think your middle game was actually mostly decent. Like, your middle game doesn't feel double-digit Q most of the time. This right here is definitely holding you back. That one, you need to be able to see that one before single-digit Q. So that one is definitely important for you to remember. Any sort of second-line cutting point is very important for you to remember.
Okay.
But most of your middle game, I think, is single-digit Q. I think it's pretty solid. Your end game can be improved, but I don't think single-digit Q players are good at end game either. So you probably have single-digit Q end game. And your opening and this one wasn't as good as last one, but I guess that's hit or miss. Yeah, I think you can pull single-digit Q off. It's just a matter of doing it. You're playing on Star Star, right?
Yeah. And I've had a losing streak lately, and I've dropped a rank, but no
biggie. It's probably those little hiccups. The random little shapes that come up. I bet you're winning most of these, and then the shape comes up. Well, this one you were losing most of the game.
That one I just got totally outplayed like the whole game. I don't know. I don't even know why, but we're out of time. I don't know if you're got to go. But,
okay, yeah. Well, just keep at it. I think you can pull off single-digit Q soonish. It's just a matter of getting the results at this point. Anytime you make a shape mistake, be sure to study it, because there's 1,000 mistakes that you have to make to learn. So just make sure you remember for each mistake as best you can, so that way you don't make a mistake again. Oh, I do see a lot of resignations. I wish we had time to go over that. Anyway, we are out of time, so hopefully you will enjoy the lesson, and I will see you next time.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, pain is the best teacher. Soma, congrats on your affiliate. Somi. I don't know why I call you Soma. It's Somya. Somya. Is this your account? This isn't your account. What's your account? Oh, it's literally looking at it. I'm literally looking at it in chat. Oh my gosh. I was thinking it was your OGS handle or something stupid.
What if we murdered him?
How am I hearing bats? That's funny. Well, that's funny. All right. There we go. We'll do a sub. All right, there you go. Boom, you got a subscriber. Yeah, congrats on that. Gift subs for them, 35% off for you. 30% off, 5 gift sub. Terms apply. You know, Twitch, I would feel a lot better about this if you weren't such a crappy company. Whatever. Okay, who do we got doing what? I fixed so many bugs today on Mega Dragon. It was great. I'm so sad Midnight just refuses to check out Mega Dragon. It's unfortunate. And Bats never does anything but play games on streams. And that and lessons. All right, let's raid Kurosana. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the lesson stream, and I should see you guys tomorrow for game reviews. But with that, hopefully you enjoyed the stream, and I will see you next time.